This is Excalibur Heavy Battlecruiser, and today we're actually revisiting an old build. A build that I did a month or two ago. Now the reason that I'm revisiting this build is because I've played around with it even more. And it actually is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I didn't really do this build justice because I took a certain mod that actually hampered its potential. And so, we are retrying the Singular Strike flak build. Now this time around, we're setting up things differently. Now for the shield, this is quite contentious. There are a bunch of good options, like there's of course Amp, which will increase my shield, my attack power very drastically, so I might actually pick that one up. Next up, I'm also going to pick Assault, like always. There may be other bodies that may be actually better than this one, but as far as I know, Assault is the one that gives me the fire rate bonus. And the fire rate bonus is just mwah. Okay, our first opponent, the first boss, it's the Beetle. Okay, gotta back off. Need some distance to take out his minions. You know how this fight goes. This guy is pretty fun. But overall, I've definitely fought him a lot of times. Enough that I can actually comfortably take him down. He's no longer this extremely dangerous opponent that I fear. Instead of Spitfire being the easy opponent, it's now seemingly Cerato Titan. With that being said, honestly both of the bosses are pretty easy if you have the correct setup, in the early game at least. Now this champion Eclipse on the other hand, it's actually an elite version, not even a champion. This one is actually holding up surprisingly well, like goddamn. He took over a dozen shots to die. So, good on him. But bad for me. Now I'm going to go with Magnitude, of course. As for the other mods, let me take Volley, of course. And we can also take Shield Cooldown and Flash Shielding. That gives us a bunch of other options like Velocity, which will give us a little bit of extra range and a teensy-weensy bit of extra damage. I mainly like it because it allows me to get a bunch of other mods in that mod tree. And the Velocity mod tree lineup is actually very useful for this kind of build. Which is normally what I wouldn't expect out of most other builds. Usually you would get Velocity or Snipe, and occasionally Calibrate, but this one actually utilizes all four of them. Like yeah, I'm even going to use Incendiary Strike for this. Now these guys are fairly easy to destroy. Let me get Firing Array real quick. And of course, Fusillade. Now yeah, I did miss out on Polar Inversion, and it is a wild mod. And wild mods are typically rarer than regular mods. But it's still not that rare of a mod to appear, so it'll probably show up again. Also, Fusillade is just amazing with flak. It's the weapon that benefits the most, and it's purposefully made for flak almost. Now, Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Polar inversion is not that rare. It shows up from time to time, and I'm actually gonna pick it up now. Bravado, on the other hand, is a bit more rare. It doesn't show up very often, but when you do, it's usually worth it. It depends on how skilled you are. Because, yeah, elite enemies are going to be much more challenging than their regular counterparts. Most of the time anyways. Because there actually are some enemy variants where the elite variants are actually easier than the regular ones. For example, the pink interceptors, you know, the tiny pink aircraft. Those ones, they, in an ironic twist of fate, are actually easier now. Because now all of their missiles can be destroyed. I'm also going to take Incendiary Strike right now, just to complete the Velocity Tree lineup. I don't have Calibrate just yet, but once I do, that's all 4 of the mods from the Velocity Tree. Now for these mods, I'm not quite ready on Discharge just yet, so Splinter it shall be. Uh-oh. Now, one downside of Splinter is the obvious lack in fire rate. It's much worse now. With that said, I still have decent fire rate, and the damage is still pretty good. Where this really excels though, is my greater ability to do crowd controlling. Huh. Actually took down Dreadnought pretty quickly with it. Next up, we're taking Stabilization. And of course, we're taking Mastery, because I like all of the weapon enhancing mods on me. Now I can take Calibrate, and this will help me out with my shotgun turning into a sniper rifle of sorts. That was pretty juicy, I'd say. I also approve of Charged Shot, of course. Because now I have a straight up sniper rifle. This thing really reminds me of Ultra Kill's shotguns. Because Ultra Kill's shotgun is freaking awesome. You can parry them and they will freaking explode. Like mini rocket launchers. Right now though, I'm gonna pick up Candescence. Goodbye, Vanguard. I didn't really miss you. Time to kite around these tracers. Well, there goes my shield, but fortunately I do have shield cooldown. Let me take payload real quick. I do lose some fire rate, but the damage increase is definitely worth it. It's still a DPS increase, even when you take the fire rate loss into account. And my projectiles still last longer before they degenerate into nothingness. Well, I took down 2 of them. Oh boy. I gotta keep my watch. I gotta keep my guard high, especially with that champion snapper. Those guys are like mini scions, I tell ya. Now I can take strafe, and I now have good mobility as well. Just like a proper assault main should. This body ain't tanky, so you gotta be fast. Definitely doing a hefty amount of damage to Scion. Uh-oh. Goodbye, Bulwark. Now it's time to delete you. Okay, let me take Shield Effect Radius to increase my damage somewhat. But it's mainly for getting charged shields early on. And believe me, that mod is legendary. Let me take Rapid Fire real quick and then Burst Fire. This will drastically increase my firepower. The relatives... The flat firing delay really doesn't matter with Charge Shot. And for that you get 2 more volleys in each charge attack. Overall, it's worth it. Now let me take Warpath, because I am destroying a bunch of enemies from time to time. Next up, Focus Shield. If I ever get charged shields, I will be very happy. Okay, not there yet, but I will be taking down this champion juggernaut. I will assure you, it's going down. It went down. My shields almost went down. But fortunately they survived. Now it's time to fight 2 Spitfires at once. And that also went decently well. Huh, impressive. I actually 2-shot the frickin' Bulwark. That must have been an empowered shot, because those bullets were looking extra sick. Next up, I am probably gonna take Discharge now. It's a risky play, because I will lose my shields more often. But my damage output is definitely gonna help. Let me just demolish the crap out of these guys. There goes the shield. Now I can just chip away at Crucible. There he goes. And yeah, as much as I like Quantum Decoherence, it's not quite time yet. I even have Blast Radius now. My shotgun is now explosive. You guys better watch out, because this shotgun really is gonna melt your face. Okay, gotta keep out for these ones. Actually clean sweep that wave. I do not appreciate your existence, Myrmidons. That was a hefty amount of damage, but uh-oh, this could be trouble. Let me keep my distance. All set and good. Let me get hull strength now, and this should help me out with survivability. These mods, frankly, don't interest me at all. Infuse, however, could be interesting. I now have an electric shotgun. Fear me, if you dare. I mean, fear me, if you dare. I really gotta say, I love Puss in Boots 2. It's like one of the few sequels where the sequel is much more memorable than the original. Like, normally the sequels, they're more often than not shadows of their predecessor. And even if not, it's usually either a contest where the successor isn't quite as memorable as the original, or they're kind of equal, as with Kung Fu Panda and Kung Fu Panda 2. But Puss in Boots is a whole nother story. The first Puss in Boots is decent, it's fun, but it's obvious that the second one has it beat. Like, you have way more memes about the second Puss in Boots movie compared to the first. You have a lot more videos covering it, and on why it's such a great movie, and overall it just gets way more attention. And I do think it's deserved. The first one had good animation, obviously, but the second one had exceptional animation. It looked amazing. Nice. We also get Charged Shields. Hopefully this helps out with Infuse. I'm frankly not sure whether it actually helps out with Infuse, but whatever, I'm gonna take it. It's gonna enhance my weapon power anyway, so why not? Holy cruiser, I am shredding these guys apart like paper. Okay, that could have been rather dangerous. Okay, let me take Juggernaut real quick. Now, I'm not going to lie, I will miss my shotgun setup of this build, but I do have to switch to singular strike real quick in a while. It will need to happen eventually. And when it does, it's going to be quite a lot more difficult to fight off hordes of enemies. But it'll be quite a unique experience with it. Right now I'm just shredding these guys apart. Infuse is really doing me a lot of favors here. And there it is, singular strike. I'm just electrocuting this frickin' Juggernaut. Honestly, I thought this would be much worse. Okay, this build really is a lot better. Especially with Homing Strike. Not too sure if I had Homing Strike in the previous iteration of this build. But without Barrage, this build actually does better, in my opinion. Yeah, the culprit was Barrage. I saw 25% additional projectiles would be helpful, but turns out the more often than not, loss in projectile performance usually offsets the projectile increase advantage. Gotta love Incendiary Strike. Okay, let me get Terminate. Huh. Nice explosions. And right after Recursor is Centerless. Two amazing music tracks. I really gotta love you, Chimeric. That was pretty solid. That was another solid explosion. With enough setup, this build can almost get out of meme tier and it'd be actually good. But obviously, this still belongs in meme because this is kind of a worse version of singular strike flak, singular strike railgun, which is much easier to set up. With that being said, I still love this build. Like, come on. Just funny as hell. Let me take Essence Sap now. And that should help out with my regen a good deal. You guys are going down. I know it. You guys know it as well. Uh-oh. That was a lot of explosions. Oh, you are absolutely screwed, Champion Juggernaut. I'm honestly not even gonna bother with Radiant Shields because it's a waste of points, honestly. I'm not really gonna stay too close to enemies just for the extra damage, because frankly, if you get too close to enemies in later waves, you will have a bad time. You will have a rude awakening from all of the other enemies, like hammerheads, celestials. They will frick you up if you go way too close on them. Even juggernauts can get really scary. So this is now going to be more of a railgun setup than a flak setup. So basically this is wannabe railgun. But I'd say it has its own fun. Like, I think it's fun enough. I also got a reroll. Uh-oh. Now my firepower has been greatly diminished. Never mind, it's back. Let me take Purge because I like deflagration on this. It helps out with crowd control pretty heavily, and it's like the ultimate counter against segmented enemies, like serpents, snappers, and even Warbringer has a hard time against it. That was a giant off-screen explosion, wasn't it? There's a whole lot of mayhem. Okay, this isn't quite mayhem levels yet, but whatever, I like it. Another epic explosion. That was friggin' amazing. Just instantly deleted those snakes. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm doing the say goodbye meme with this. But what can I say? It's a lot of fun. That meme's just quite fun. It's a good variation of the Rickroll meme that's permeated through the internet for over a decade. If there's one meme that is potentially immortal, it's the Rickrolling meme. It's been around, and it's not going around anytime soon. It's not going away anytime soon, I say. I really don't want to, because Rick Astley seems like an awesome person. And instead of, like, quite a lot of other celebrities who just hates memes, he embraces them. Goodbye, Pulsars. You are not missed. I was just stalling to give you a few seconds extra to contemplate your poor character choice of being a mere pulse bug. The Celestial is gone. Now I'm going to delete the Dweller and his minions. Even without deflagration, this has epic crowd control, courtesy of Charge Shot Infuse. You certainly are not going to avenge your master, so join him in the afterlife. Trying to be a straggler, huh? Not gonna work. That was a flashbang. You're going down as well. You tried to steal Spitfire's minions. I will make you suffer. Let's see how well Scion holds up against black holes. Okay, Scion is actually doing some hefty damage. You think you can scavenge your win out of this? Come on. I was actually kind of scared there, not gonna lie, but... I mean... It's already over. I'm already murdering these Spitfires with ease. Gyro guns, why do they even exist? If champion juggernauts are scared of me, you guys don't even stand a chance, man. Okay then. You have a better shot at this, I guess, Tracers. The biggest compliment I could give to Elite Juggernaut is that they can survive a full volley of this. Otherwise, though, I can fold them easily. Oh, Dreadnought, you're absolutely gonna have a nightmare. It's time for payback! You have given nightmares to my friend. Now I am your nightmare. Never again appear, or else I will haunt you again. Yeah, I do have a friend who is actually really scared of Dreadnought, because apparently to him it looks like a frickin' eldritch horror. And I mean, I kinda agree with him. It does look like the ancient, eldritch, Lovecraftian ancestor of all fireflies. Okay. Somehow these Celestials are actually doing some hefty damage to me. With that being said, it's still quite not enough. I would really appreciate deflagration about now. Well, I have two interesting choices, antimatter rounds or deflagration. This one will add up some projectile size, which could be pretty beneficial. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go deflagration now. Because I really do not want to be ever pestered by segmented enemies ever again. Say no to segmented enemies. Heck, even closely packed small fry are vulnerable to this kind of sting. Dreadnought, time to give you nightmares once more. What? How? Okay, I have no idea what the heck ended me. Did Spitfire actually kinetic plant me, but it glitched out? I really have no idea how Spitfire of all things ended my career. I can take on a champion Juggernaut. I ended Dreadnought twice. I'll even take on a horde of Celestials, but Spitfire? Really? Well, that's another surprising and unexpected end to my build. As you can see, this one definitely had even more potential than the last one. I was really close to getting Tempest Break as well, which may have actually helped me out a fair bit, because it would add in even more shield effect power, and my shield cooldown would not be interruptible. So that's a plus. And yeah, overall, I seriously have no idea what the heck happened there. But my name is Excalibur Heavy Battlecruiser, and as always, may the forks be with you all.